spent 2 years working on this indie game, then another year remaking it, and then I published the game onto Steam, and it only got a meager 7 reviews. Ugh. I learned about marketing. I'd made a list of influencers to send Steam keys to, and the sales just didn't come. People who've actually played this game really like it, so what went wrong? Let me tell you about my old little silly funny metroidvania game, Super DynoStory. Hello everyone, it's DynoStorm. So yeah, let me tell you about Super DynoStory, a game I spent quite a lot of time working. Super DynoStory started in 2018, actually, when I think I released it in 2019, I worked on it in 2018 mostly. So I worked on this free version for like about maybe a little under 2 years. It was on and off for a while. So this is the old free version of Super DynoStory. The colors aren't quite as punchy, there's a few more shortcuts. There's not as many biomes. There's like basically snow and rocks and hell, and that's basically all the biomes in the game. The new version has a lot more going on, and yeah, this was kind of just me trying to make a game with like voice acting and various other things, so I was just trying out tech. Something pretty interesting about Super DynoStory is that a publisher actually approached me with Super DynoStory, and yeah, that's kind of what prompted me to go ahead and try remaking this game. I took the free version of the game, I redesigned all the levels, I upped the graphics. Alright, as you can see here, the graphics are a bit nicer. And so this is like the ship area. You've got the snowy area, it's a bit more colourful. There's now this green area where you meet the dog. Yeah, it's a bit more, there's just a bit more lively stuff going on here with the actual proper release of Super DynoStory. Yeah, this game had a few more levels, a few more bosses, more biomes, a much cooler end stage, and more music and various other things. So this was a superior version of Super DynoStory. The problem is the publisher did pull out in the end. They kind of looked at the game again and they changed their mind on things, which was a bit of a shame, but I had worked on this game for another year, so I decided to go ahead and release it onto Steam just on my own with the best knowledge that I possibly could. But yeah, for the publishing efforts for the game, I made a website, I made a press kit, made some trailers, I gathered 400 influencer email addresses from influencers who've played Metroidvania games a bit like this. I sent them all Steam keys via email, the release day came, a bunch of people played it, a bunch of people left reviews, but not much besides that. Yeah, there were some influencers who played the game and stuff, like Cryptid Hybrid and All Games World HD and various others. And that was very cool. There was even a little speed run here and some cool reviews and stuff. But unfortunately, the little press I got didn't quite convert into sales, so people liked the game, so what happened? I think the issue with Super DynoStory is that it's basically a bunch of in-jokes, and it's kind of a tech demo that got a bit out of hand. I was trying to make a game with cutscenes and voice acting and things like that to see like how far I could make a game, because prior to this I had made comparatively simple games. Yeah, a lot of the game is in-jokes based on me and my friend's Pallid Crest. Yeah, this is Pallid Crest, and he has this little show called Untown. So this is Untown, like this is an animated series he made, just beginning to end. And yeah, I voiced an Ace's dad in this thing, and like there are like enemies in this series that inspired the enemies. Like there's Lever Drag that appears in this episode that inspired the Levies, and Lever Duck. There's Obley here, who inspired Princess Obley, and various others. And the Sluggies is like bunnies, and there's a rabbit-themed enemy in this series. He actually finished this series, which is not what a lot of Newgrounds animators do, so that's very cool. He did it over the course of several years. As you can see, he finished it like about 3-ish years ago almost. So yeah, that basically the game's got a lot of stuff that goes over people's heads, and there was this fellow called White Pill Media who made a review of Super DynoStory not too long ago, and I think he commented on how the game could have been played a bit more straight and a bit more, it could have been a bit more, I think, local, honed in, I suppose you could say. And I think that was interesting. I think his video is pretty good. It has a lot of good feedback, and I think it's a good summary of a lot of the other feedback. He doesn't play Metroidvania games much, so some of the things are a bit missed there, but otherwise he did pretty well. He played the entire game, so that's very cool. And as you can see with this new version of Super DynoStory, you got the skull here rather than just the death's text. Yeah, the quality of the game is there, but but doesn't quite have a niche or an audience to quite link into properly. Yeah, that's definitely going to be something I'm going to need to think about and focus on with my future games. I think I've kind of got an idea for where I'm going to market Westman, but we'll have to see. Overall, people really like the game. It was a pretty fun platformer experience. I don't play a ton of those, but I had a good time. Thank you, White Pill Media. There's Desk Games, super enjoyable metroidvania, which has some really fun abilities and makes some really challenging and creative use of them. Navigation feels mostly just right, with it doing a good job at not making you feel super lost, and also not being super obvious on where to go either. Yeah, thank you, Desk Games. Lime Cultivist, this is a gentleman who did a little speedrun of the game. I think he did it in like half an hour or something, which is very cool. I designed a lot of this game to have like speedrun strats, so you can jump over certain areas, and there's little exploits here and there to get through the game a bit faster, because I like beating the game quickly, so I do like to put those in there. But yeah, he had a lot of pros, he had a lot of cons, so yeah, the voice acting I think has been something that's been criticized quite a lot, and yeah, I'm going to take a back seat in the future. I'm not going to voice act too much, and but otherwise people really enjoyed the game. Yeah, Deshelly, another person, simple platform, even beginners, can also be challenging. Okay, Cud Cow Supreme, very good game, excellent sprite design, gameplay, sound design, and soundtrack. People like the soundtrack as well, that's very cool. Lupico, sense of detail in this game is simply amazing. It very much reminds me of original Atari, Amiga games. I'm too young to know what an Amiga is, although I've heard it before. The Woodman says, really amazing game, very humorous and very creative, looking very much forward to Mr. X's Zealous Adventure. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Woodman. I'm definitely going to get back to this game. It's been on hiatus for a long time, but I'll get to it soon. It should be a good surprise when I bring it back. Dusatech Super DynoStory is a truly indie game with a unique and creative plot. The game has been carefully crafted with a lot of attention to detail, resulting in a refined and consistent gameplay experience that reminds of early 90s hits. The surrealist plot twists in the game are unusual, but make sense with the context of the handcrafted world. So yeah, thank you, Dusatech. So yeah, I like a lot of the feedback on the game. People like the game. I think a lot of the negative feedback on the game regarding the voice acting, certain things about the difficulty and button remapping and various other little details. I think that's all completely fair, and I'm definitely taking that on board with my future games. It's quite a bit of pressure, to be honest, but I know I can do like way better. But yeah, this game, I think it still stands up on its own pretty well, in my opinion. If you like Metroidvania games and you think that this is like your brand of silliness, then why not grab the game and maybe leave a review. Maybe we can get this up to 10 user reviews. That would be very cool.
Don't worry, boss. I'm just gonna chop off your head.
What? You're gonna chop off my head?
Not even a bird has been able to... Hey, where do you think you're going?
Yeah, your future.
They have defeated us, but you'll never defeat our giant green leader!
Oh no, it's a Mega Sluggy!
And you're gonna burn to death. Ooh.
Lavaduck is trying to lay an egg! Howdy, golfer.
I'm not a golfer! Well, time to genocide you as an individual. Pallid! I'm going to fight you until I get the gold back.
Nah, boss. You're gonna fight all of us at once.
What?